Okay.
Everybody in. Okay, so welcome everybody and welcome back, Beatrice. And it's nice to see you all here today. I guess it's a sunny-ish day from the UK. I'm just going to pin myself and Beatrice so we can look at me and Beatrice. And I guess with the work that we've had a look at, we just had a relook at it now. We've picked out work that rather than select 5, we've selected probably a bit more. And we've looked at work that we thought really hit the mark with Missoni, and some that almost captured Missoni but was old Missoni. Yeah, is that right, Beatrice? So
Yes.
you can have a little think about it, but I think that's
Yes.
kind of, and the overarching work was very good.
Exactly. I mean, everything was beautiful for sure. And I find that is very interesting to see different perspective of the brand and different point of view, but everyone understanding. So super beautiful.
Good. So Beatrice is a very busy person, so we're lucky to have her. So I'm just gonna share my machine, my computer, my screen, and then we'll dabble away to the work. So okay. So let me just bring up, we're going to just bring up pieces of work that we kind of picked out that we thought was really nice. So there was a few of these. I'm just going to try and find a few. Is this another one? This is something else. Anyway, we can talk about this one, and as they come, we'll kind of go through it. I think this might be another. These two. This one. So I guess we started on here, and these were interesting ones, weren't they, Beatrice? You can kind of explain.
Here, exactly. I feel that I mean, this girl understood perfectly the brand today. Like this is Missoni today, the color palette and what is happening at the moment. I think the creative director would love this sensation of movement and of freedom, fresh, but with a lot of, you can tell that is wool and knitwear and very much what the brand is doing at the moment. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah. And the styling's really interesting. That's sort of like even the styling of the hair pulled up, all them little details really work, I think, for the modern Missoni woman.
I agree.
It's quite important.
Even the lurex, no, these lurex that we use in the brand as well, that is the shiny pieces in the shiny paillette, no, in the clothes is very, very right.
Yeah. And this one was really cool as well. Some really nice patterns and almost feels quite nomadic as well. I think there's some quite nomadic feel, which is a sort of where Missoni's going. That sort of person who could live in the woods and also on the beach.
It's true, and she's comfortable. No, she's comfortable on her clothes. I like this easiness. Let's say it's beautiful.
Really good. And then next was which I'm just picking up random images. So this one was one of the invitations that we were sent, and we just really loved the way that this was drawn and using a detail rather than a whole image. I think that was one of the reasons you picked this.
Exactly. Yes, I love it. Yeah, sometimes just with a detail is enough, no? And the colors she used to draw the hands, those hands, I think, are very right for the brand as well.
And she did some portraits as well. But this was so the first illustrator, just to let you know, was Lisa Nicotina, and then we've got Zhu Yung Chen, and then these are a really, I guess it was quite nice portraits. The subtlety of the portraits was good, and the detailing rather than it being a full design.
I love the fact that she is drawing transparencies as well. That is something that the creative director loves. Filippo Grazioli loves in Missoni to do transparencies and layering, and she got the look with that exactly. So I like it very.
And quite mysterious. I think there's quite a bit of mysteriousness around the way that the color and the coloring pencil, the way that this illustrated is really nice, and it feels quite almost classical and modern.
It's true. It's
which
true.
is a great way to kind of think about a brand like Missoni, classical and
It's true.
modern.
It's beautiful.
Um,
Rings.
we picked this one for a positive and a negative.
Mm-hmm.
This is Christie, and we thought the illustrations were really interesting, a little bit strong, but on one side they sort you explained because you were the one that said it.
No, I think they remind me to the old Missoni, how was before. They used to work with a lot of photographers that were kind of dark as an aesthetic. And I think she got that point. Maybe it's not what they are doing at the moment, but it's something they did in the past for sure, and that it worked for the brand. So I like it. Is um, something is happening there. I don't know what, but something is happening. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, I think the mark making's interesting,
Exactly.
but the contrast is too strong. It feels
Yes,
too strong, and it feels almost older Missoni. And I think even the print feels a little bit sort of old Missoni. Yeah, so
exactly.
I think bringing that modern twist to it, and you were saying like the little glittery bits and the shiny bits, and lots of little details is what brings into the modern Missoni.
Totally agree. Yes. I
Um, So also some people sent in some PDFs. So I wanted to pick, we really liked this PDF. So I'm just gonna kind of flick through this PDF. And this was Julia Balsarin. Um, I'm not too sure if I know Julia Balsarin's full background, but a really good research. She really looks into the details. This is the sort of thing we'd expect from a fashion designer. So it feels
Mhm.
very fashion design.
The
Um,
process is right, exactly. Yeah.
yeah, and the mood was good. Some really nice details being picked up by the mood. Feels very professional, which I liked. Um, these prints were very graphic, so I thought there was some nice graphic prints in here. Uh,
Yes.
let's see.
Colors are beautiful here. I think these are the right colors. I mean, these are the colors they are using at the moment in the brand. Is
Yeah,
like the
which is
all these
I think
shade.
some nice sort of more graphic prints mixed with hand drawn prints. A real mix of interplay of prints.
Yeah,
And then we had some illustrations. I thought the illustrations were nice. I thought they were
yeah,
quite playful.
yeah.
I think they're like for a young Missoni girl.
Exactly, exactly. I see this for a young version of Missoni.
Yeah.
Yes, but there is inside the company, of course, there is a part of the collection that is for younger people or new generations. So
Yeah.
this one, as well, it reminds me to the beach collection. I
Yeah.
think it's very much that style
Yeah. Yeah. No,
direction.
no, no. I can see that. Definitely some of these on the beach,
Yes,
wraps and also the posters. We looked at the posters, they were really nice. A real nice
it's,
collection. Some
yeah,
really this was great, this one. This
that
sort
one
of
is great.
interplay of sort of playful prints. You've just got to watch out about stripes because sometimes Paul Smith. So you have to kind of yeah. So this kind of stripe going down sometimes can remind me of Paul Smith. So you have to
Right,
kind of worry about the diagonals and the sort of that herringbone and that zigzag we
exactly.
associate with Missoni, where the stripes going down is Paul Smith. You'd be watching out. Paul Smith might be after you. So just be aware of other brands. And also, Missoni would want you to understand that what is the DNA of a brand, and that other brands have little things, little codes that remind you of other brands. So you have to, like a check could be seen as something that could be Burberry or could be seen as Vivienne Westwood or whatever. So you have to be really smart with little tweaks to make sure you get it right. So that as nice as that one is, I now looking at it, if that said Smith, it could be Paul Smith. So I think that's just a thought from me.
Totally.
Um,
And it's difficult nowadays because the codes are similar, but it's true. And Missoni had a book with all the Missoni codes, actually.
ah,
Yes,
well, that
respect.
I guess that helps you. Uh, and then we really liked. this really worked. The invitation, it's nice to see invitations, people being quite graphic and quite playful. And then some really, I guess, lovely illustrations. There
Yeah,
were some great ones.
that's lovely.
And the set design was really cool.
Yes, I love that she's been thinking of everything. Set design that is very important for the brand, and um, fabrics, interior colors, very complete.
And the illustrations are really nice as well. Some really cool ones here. I think my only thought, and you can tell me, Beatrice, I used to remember saying this quite a lot with you, probably be thinner and taller.
Ah, yeah.
No, if we think about Italian illustration,
You're totally right.
no, would that would usually be my thought is Italians love really long and tall with their
Yeah.
illustrations, where she feels a bit more, I'd say more normal.
Yeah.
Uh, but in Italian illustration is always in perspective, very
Yes,
small going down to a long. So I think this sort of elongating that illustration, I think would be more
that's
Italian looking. No, am I
that's
wrong? I don't
no,
know.
no, no. You are totally right. It's like that, actually. Yes. I mean, high heels, long legs,
Yeah,
and small body, no?
yeah. I think it's more 10 heads rather than 9 heads.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if anyone's read the book Nine Heads, read 10 heads. We need 10 heads.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's true.
okay. And
And
then
it's difficult because when you work with proportions, everything is different, but yes.
yeah, it really matters. It's amazing when you meet the designers how really particular they will. If the illustration doesn't work, they're not happy from, yeah, like you were saying, because we were just talking about like things not working, getting lots of rejections, and you were saying like you get lots of rejections and
Yes,
of negative feedback and recovering from it. I
every
think
day.
every day negative. And then explain this. You had some good thoughts on this as well.
Yes, I like this one. It's very creative. I think it's playful, fun. It reminds me to other artists. No, we were saying Jean-Paul Good that I have here a book, and yes, I like it. It's fun. This one, fresh.
And I think there's a bit of fun in Missoni. Yeah. So I think
Yes,
there's a bit of playfulness. So I think little ideas like this really work where you
I
could
love.
be, and to be honest, Beatrice, it reminded me of you a little bit. Like you, because
Really?
you're quite playful. You all
It's
remember
true.
we were always, it was quite controversial because you were very playful as a creative, always
It's,
pushing the boundaries of being playful. So I think there's some really nice ideas here.
yeah,
And
this is much fun.
as a series of works, you could really see it's got its own idea, its own creative sort of plan,
This
and you
one
can
is
get
beautiful.
picked out from that for your portfolio. Like portfolios, it'd be perfect.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, this one is very personal, no? Like just this person can do this, so I like it. Is and colors are fun. This hair is amazing. This fur could be real in Missoni as well. I mean, I think it's embroidery,
100%.
not fur, but
And
yes,
and look, some little ideas of like how patterns could play, and even the print of the mountain drawing is really
I love
nice. So really good research images. I think here, I think what's quite good here is to be brave.
that. I
Yeah, have a
agree.
bit of courage and stand out. And at least, you'll be appreciated for being brave. I think, Joe,
Is
that was a great little piece of work. And then I'm just going to open these up because there was a few of them and I didn't put them together. But what we really liked about these was the movement. You were saying you really like the movement.
Yes, I find them beautiful, these ones. And I like the fact that it's very much what is happening now in Missoni. Like some of these illustrations look like the literally like the show, but with movement and fresh. I like it more than the show. It looks like more comfortable, no? Missoni is a brand that you have to be comfortable because it's knitwear. And in this case, yes, she feels comfortable, fresh. I love it. It's beautiful, this one. Mm.
Yeah. Good. I agree. And we were saying that sometimes they feel a little bit not so right, but there's something good about them. We liked. They
Yes,
felt a bit.
that woman there is amazing with the short hair and a bit different, no?
Yeah,
Weird, but cool.
yeah. We liked that it felt a little like, because if you put these two together, you kind of your eye keeps going back to this one.
I agree.
And it's kind of making that move, like Picasso making a move. He's
Yes, she's
being courageous, and the attitude. I think there's more attitude. You can tell there's more of a story to this woman than this one feels. You've seen it 1,000 times, where this one doesn't, and I think that's quite an important thing to consider. Um,
yes, it's a
and then and then we did these, and we were just thinking about like Bali or someone like that. These very graphic.
yes. It's a different hand, no? I can see that it is more graphic, but there is something here that I really like. I think that is different, that is a bit more pop, that is very personal. I don't know if pop is the right word, but it's a bit more rock or punk or but like I like it young, different.
Yeah, I agree. And this sort of very graphic mark making a statement, and
Yes.
almost it could be, you have that very fragile Missoni look, and then, they want to do something in a younger magazine or something where it could be really fresh, or it could be for an editorial, something more.
Collaboration. For me, it's a collab in this
Yeah,
case, like Missoni with another brand or with an
yes,
artist or with a model.
yeah. I like that. A sort of a collaboration partnership.
Yes.
And then we had Desiree. So we quite liked what Desiree was doing. I'm not going to look too much on the research, because the research is quite interesting, like the research that you've done. But we really want to talk about the outcomes. There was some nice outcomes. We liked the styling. We thought it was quite subtle.
Yes. Here I'm breathing, no? It's a bit like a stop, like, okay, we can breathe sometimes as well, being Missoni, no? Softer, kind
Yeah,
of fresher, summery. Makes me breathe.
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I like
Yeah, I
mm,
think seeing a combination, something of very graphic and strong, and then coming back to here, it feels like like you're saying, you're relaxing. It gives you a sense of Missoni is to breathe, and that's
yeah.
chilled, that chilled mode, and the selection of colors are really nice. They're very harmonious, and I think they dance together. I think it's quite
We are
nice.
using a lot of pastels at the moment in Missoni, so it's very right as well as a selection of colors. And I like even the garments. I think they are very Missoni.
Yeah, I think more of these ones. These
Yes, exactly. This
The
one.
first few, I think, are more Missoni,
Yes.
and this one's a bit cooler. This is a bit
This one
quite
is
cool.
cool. I
Good.
like.
Well done, Desiree. I think they're really good.
Yes.
And then we had Montserrat. You can talk about these, and I'll go through them.
Yes. I feel again here there is a soft version of Missoni, which I like because again it doesn't has to be always like colorful and zigzag and so it gives me peace. And then I think she worked in amazing textures. Like could be in a future this could become a fabric,
Yeah,
and so it's realistic. It's like a hippie version of Missoni.
and these are really lovely research images.
Yes, the research is beautiful as
Yeah,
well.
I think what I like about these, they feel like you did them yourself. You were inspired by yourself rather than Google.
I
I think.
agree.
Yeah, so like what was reminiscent of your work is that your reference tends to be things that you've created. Like if you found some sellotape or did something with your hair, you use that as a reference point. So it's nice to kind of look within rather than always on Google. And I think this is the research looks really good. I think this is good research.
I agree. It's beautiful. And then, anyways, I mean, it's interesting to see a different, again, point of view of the brand, no? This one is very personal.
Yeah, and the prints were lovely. I thought the textures were great.
Yes, for sure. These ones are,
This one on the left is lovely. That sort of
yes.
herringbone.
I mean, I can see even furniture with that texture.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
brand.
rugs and old sort of knitted for chairs. Yeah, I think
Yes,
there could be like a stool or something like that.
totally. Yes, this one is beautiful, the poster.
Yeah, we really liked this poster. We thought this was great.
Yes,
Really good colors
colors are beautiful.
and quite
Hmm.
handmade. And we liked that it felt a little bit abstract or a little bit could be museum looking or something like archaeological or something like the British Museum or your research in details. I thought that was quite nice. So well
Yeah.
done, Montserrat. That was lovely. And then we had Freda. I'll just go back to the beginning. Um, Again, good research, good understanding of textures. Then we had some prints. The marbling, you spoke about the marbling was quite good.
Yes, used it actually inside the brand. We worked with marbling and they were loving it. So I think it's the right choice and the colors are really right. I mean, the color palette is exactly the one we were using. It's even making me sensitive almost.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one,
They're interesting and complex as well. I think that's what the modern Missoni print is, complex.
yes. Yeah.
It's how does it become a contemporary version where I think these are just too simple and they'll breeze past them, where here they're complex
So
and they
it's
feel quite
a
modern.
new idea to interpret Missoni, which is what I like. I think like is what I had to do every season, not to come up with a
Yeah,
new idea. Okay, marbling or I don't know, different concepts. This one is a good option. Is a right concept.
yeah.
Is
And then
mm,
we really loved the designs and the illustration. She's got a nice proportions. I think she's quite tall. She's nine,
yes,
definitely 9 heads, not 10 heads, but 9 heads. We'll give her 9 heads. Uh, and
exactly.
and the design of the swimwear was really cool,
Yes,
and the
I think
styling was nice. We like the cool haircut.
I love the tights and socks as well.
And this I quite liked the belt and the look and feel here. It feels quite old school, but in a sort of modern way. You could imagine a very classic film. This could be for film or
I
something
agree.
like
I agree. Yes.
that.
I mean, I want those trousers.
Yeah, yeah. So do I.
Exactly. I think it's very professional, this project, like very the research, the process, and then the illustrations, and seems like a designer.
Yep, yeah. So you could easily send this straight to a company and say, here's a project that I've done and here's an example, and it will feel comprehensive. It's complete. And then the
Totally.
illustrations, we were saying the illustrations are beautiful.
Yes, they are
Well done,
beautiful.
Freda. It's excellent.
This, I mean, these posters are amazing. Yes, beautiful.
This one is fantastic.
That one on the left is
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's
It
stunning.
could be now for me,
Yeah,
son. I mean, it's something that I see that it could work. That I mean, text them.
yes.
Beautiful.
It's definitely something we think could work. And then we picked these illustrations up. They felt very sort of we quite like the kitschness of them and the sort of fragility of them. And they were quite sort of young and fresh. I think they felt quite fresh and quite almost quite naive as well. And they could feel Missoni as well, a bit sort of that on the edge Missoni.
Yes, but there are some. I mean, they had in Missoni, they have some pieces that are this style of this woman that is very relaxed and maybe a bit kitsch, as you are saying, with a flower here or with an accessory. It's as well very Missoni. I like it. It's soft. It's
Yeah.
feminine.
Yeah, well done. That was great, Siobhan. Well done. Um, and then we had Julia. I think we saw Julia's. So overall, well done, everybody. Some great, these were the sort of pieces that we picked out. And also, like, we were trying to not have someone who represented, like, who was the best or anything like that. But there was, I guess you were saying, someone who you thought really captured the Missoni.
Yes, I would say the most real one. Like I see it in working for the brand or doing, imagine a poster or something like that. The one that I feel the creative director would love straight away, maybe. I think there are many beautiful and many with that understood very good the concept of the brand and the moment where that they are living at right now. But yes, in this case, Elisa is called, no, she's called
Lisa Nicotina.
Lisa. Lisa, I think she really did a great job. I mean, she got the brand, the colors, shapes, kind of garments, um, fabrics. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah. And I think the attitude as well, the attitude of the model really is spot on. Like when I look at it, she's got that sort of like, don't mess with me, but beautiful, the
Yes,
garment, a powerful woman as well. I think that's quite, Missoni women are quite powerful, even though their clothes are quite subtle. So
yes,
I
it's true.
think,
Mm.
she really encapsulates that. And I think these were great. And the leggings are cool. I love the leggings.
Yes, leggings are super cool.
Yeah, I can imagine them leggings.
Exactly.
Does Missoni do many leggings?
They used to do many leggings. This is something that I always wanted to do because I think Missoni is super for leggings. But at the moment, they are doing a bit less. But it's something they always do for sure. Yes. Maybe a
Okay.
bit wilder, no? More 60, yes, more 60s. But they work with leggings a lot, yes.
Okay, so if anyone has any questions they'd like to fire off to Beatrice while she's here, because we're lucky to have her. So if there was any questions, I saw some little messages in the chat. So you could either put it in the chat or basically saying amazing and well done, everybody. But if anyone does, you could put it in the chat or you can ask, or I might have to unmute you, but um, I'll.
Anyways, I feel it's super interesting how everyone have been looking at the brand and showing their personalities, but always loyal to Missoni. I think it's super interesting. I mean, I love all of them because of that, because they are personal.
And because we talk about many things, and I'm just trying to think of any particular questions that I'd like to try and think about is because I guess people are trying to. Does Missoni do many live event illustrations? Because that seems to be quite uh, at the sort of, I guess, what's going on now in the
Yeah.
industry and.
I think they are not doing it, but they could do it. Why not? I mean, probably because they are not thinking of it, but I am sure that it's a good option for them. I'm sure. And Mison is very artistic as well, no? They used to do many collaborations with artists and with photographers. So I think would be a beautiful direction for the brand. At the moment, they are not doing it, but um, I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
uh,
I think a lot of the brands have taken a long time to kind of re-embrace drawing and illustration, and we've seen Prada now really embracing illustrators, and lots of Ralph Lauren, and there's lots of brands now working with illustrators for life. That seems to be the main place for
yes,
illustrators getting their main income. But as we know, like yourself, really good at drawing. There is a role inside the actual fashion system for people
yes,
that can draw, understand the design, especially in Italian design, where you're required to draw on the figure. Uh, I think that's quite important role. So a lot of these works, the goal of us doing these projects is really to get people to understand illustration isn't just editorial or
exactly.
live events. There is a role in the fashion system where
Yes.
drawing is required, I guess required. Like we've
Yeah.
seen the design process.
No, it's super
Um,
important. I mean, if you cannot draw, it's difficult to get inside this competitive world, I would say. I think that's something difficult for designers or illustrators or in general anyone that works in the fashion system is to understand the codes of the brand that they are working for. No, like it's an exercise that is difficult to do. Like it's something that I have always to do in my work. And I mean, it's not just about research and about presenting something new or something personal, which is very important, but I think it's very, very important to learn how to read a brand, you know, and to select the codes and to understand the customer, and then you can do anything you want. But yes, it's difficult. I can see that there is very talented people, but difficult. I mean, but they struggle understanding the brand that they are working for.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes you just don't get it. It's just bad luck. You
Yes,
just didn't understand the brand. Because that's usually the feedback when you're in meetings is
yeah,
when they're happy, they're saying, wow, you've really understood the brand, you really understand the codes. And that seems to be the main language they use, is you
yeah,
understood where we want to be or where we want to go. They kind of
exactly.
want them to words being said. You understood our brand and you understand where we want to go. And then they tend to usually say, I love your drawing.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
I'm trying to guess on the things that they say. Because
Mm, sorry,
research is research. And I just
exactly.
feel that most of the time, the creative director will have a vision of that and they will kind of say, okay, go away and sort of work off of that. And you're sort of illustrating to it or doing a little bit of your own research. But I guess what we showed with Montserrat was that her individual research was really important. And I think similar to you, you always had very individual research. And I think but it's quite important that your
Yes,
research doesn't feel generic. It
it's
doesn't
true.
feel like it's been downloaded from
I mean, rule
people.
number one, never check, never ever go to Pinterest.
Right. There's a good bit of feedback. No Pinterest.
No, Pin-
No,
rule
because
number.
it would come up on many people's
Exactly. It's an
um,
algorithm. If you like it, they are going to show it to someone else. So you end up always seeing same references. Oh, yes.
yeah. So do you tend to go through old magazines or books, or you go to an old bookshop and you find something that's a little bit off the wall
For sure.
rather than
Always.
yeah.
Always. For me, the first, like where I find the first source of research is in the street. Like people dressing up in the street and in the metro and anywhere. Like I take pictures of people in the street always.
Yeah. Okay, so a bit of styling, what is happening now, and then how you're gonna sort of twist it so it feels like the brand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Like
and
that person could wear Missoni.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That's my customer, no? So I focus in these people and I concentrate in looking at those people. And yes, I love that for sure.
yeah,
And for sure, books and artists and anything that is not Google for sure.
yeah. Good. Excellent. All right, Beatrice, thanks for your time
Wait,
and
thank you so much. It's been a
always
pleasure.
great to see you and we're so lucky and
Thank
thanks
you.
for everything and all the feedback. But
Thank you so much.
have a great day and we'll speak to you soon.
Yes, yes, I will let you know how is it going, everything. Hope to see you
Okay.
soon. Thank
See you
you to
soon.
everyone.
Ciao.
Really.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.